Jesse Martineau. Get ready. It's time for the Me and Jesse podcast with Mark Pavlich and Jesse Martineau.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Me and Jesse podcast. My name is Mark Pavlich, and across the way in the Grove, the bearded wonder, the one and only Jesse Martineau.
I was hoping for summer. It didn't happen. It's now back to, false spring. So anyway.
I love the golf courses that say, "Oh, we're opening up tomorrow," and I'm like, "No, you're not.
Yeah,
no, you're not."
Okay. Well, hey. We're getting there, though. And that means that it's time for the hockey playoffs, which, hey.
All right, let's go.
Well, I guess for some people it sucks.
Well, yeah, if you're a Calgary Flames fan, usually, that's a low blow. I didn't need to even be said today. But, Oilers are winning the cup like I predicted as I predicted 47 shows ago that they're going to win the cup this year. They're winning the cup. The only ones that can probably stop them are the Boston Bruins. The Leafs will not get out of the first round, and you heard it here on the Me and Jesse podcast. Okay, Leafs Nation, suck it. Okay.
Well, I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. I can't say that the Leafs are going to lose, but if history tells us anything, it's definitely on the side of them not making it through. Or you could take it the other way and say, it's the odds have to be that this time they'll get out
sooner or later it's happening, right?
Like the odds are okay this time. Like you lose what was it, 2007? Well,
2013. Last time they made it out of the first round.
2013. The odds are that the ninth time will be the charm.
Yeah, listen. Sooner or later, and I'm saying it's later. So good, like later, much later.
Yeah, Well, they got a tough one because they drew the Lightning, and that isn't easy. Like Lightning are not sleepers. I mean, they're legit. They're not gonna bow down to the Leafs. In fact, they're gonna show up.
And also, too, you have to go through the Bruins on that side too, right? So, how are they gonna get through the Bruins? Like that's not gonna happen. It's not.
The Bruins break the NHL point record since the 70 Canadians?
Isn't that crazy?
It's
Think about that.
Actually, it's actually mind blowing. That doesn't happen. That shouldn't happen, to be honest.
We thought it would never happen.
No,
that's
because
one of those records
the league is there's too much parity in the league now. And with injuries and that kind of stuff, but the perfect storm happened for Boston, I guess, where everything went their way. Everything was coming up Bruins all season long. Here's the other thing is can they keep that rolling? Because if they do and they win the cup, it'll be as close to an undefeated season as what the NFL could give. It's as close as the NHL could be.
If you did the math that way, yes. But the pressures, we always see this all the time. They go balls out all the way to they get here, and then all of a sudden now all the pressure's on Boston. So if you look at everybody predicting right now, they're predicting Boston or Edmonton to win the cup. Some delusional people on Sportsnet and TSN in out east are predicting the Leafs, which sure, sooner or later you might be right since 1967. So for the last 55 years, you've been predicting this. Sooner or later it's going to come true. And but when you look at I don't see any of like Colorado, Edmonton, and Boston. If one of those three, I can't see anybody else winning the cup. I just can't.
Other than Cinderella, right? Because
correct.
That's the thing.
Correct.
Like, you never know. Maybe the Kraken do go on a tear and do it.
Yeah.
Even though, like, I mean, they did great this season, and nobody thought they would.
Like always, like Vegas when they came the first
awesome.
year.
Like, last year they sucked, but this year they put it together, and that's awesome. Great for Seattle, and that'll be my team I'm cheering for right now. But again, you got to play Colorado. Colorado is easily in that top 4.
Still Colorado, yeah.
Still Boston, Edmonton, Colorado, and you know what? The Lightning might be on that side too. It's the thing is that that semifinals, if it goes according to plan,
which it doesn't,
usually, it should be Oilers, Avs in the semis.
Yes,
it should be
like last year.
Yes, a repeat.
Last year,
repeat of last year.
Yeah, but Oilers win this time.
Well,
Oilers win this time because of depth. They got depth and they got decent goaltending. And Skinner has finally flexed. They left him alone. They got out of his way and they said, "Okay, kid, you're going to be the number 1. Campbell will be the number 2. No more messing around with this." And look how the kids played. He stood on his head the last 10 games. It wasn't that problem
last year, though. It was the defense.
Yeah,
and again,
now they got Thor. Now they got now they got the man playing back there.
Well, they picked the right guy.
Yeah,
Duncan Keith wasn't the guy.
No, and you said that. You said the second they did that, you said it. The second it came out, we were on the air that day too. You said it. You said Duncan Keith is not the guy. 5 years ago, he would have been the guy, but not now. And you were 100% correct. He was I don't want to say a bomb or a bust, but he just wasn't it.
No, I think they were trying to get something, and at the time that like what else could you do? But okay, now you have a chance. I don't see the Kings doing much. I really
me neither.
Don't. I can see them winning tonight, but
I could see them getting ass whipped tonight. I could see this thing going 5 games max. I'm telling you right now, there's a one thing that people are misconstruing right now. When you go from McDavid to Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins, who's got over 102 points this year. This guy's 12th year in the league, everybody. 12th year in the league, and he gets 102 points. Then you have Evander Kane. Then you have your defense now. Now you have all this. You imagine now you have depth. Oh, who else are we forgetting on that team, right? We have come on, help me. The kid that just Hyman came now. Look at it's just depth. So you have 3 or 4 lines now, which we always said you need that to win the Stanley Cup. Here we go. So
they have to make quick work of LA. There's no question. They have to go through it quick. They really do. They have to get through the first 2 rounds quick.
You're right.
And I mean, they did that last year, and then they ran into Colorado, who just knew what they were doing a little differently.
Oh, did they ever?
But Colorado is a different team. There's no question. They've lost a lot of the edge that they had with Kadri and things like that. But, again, if the Oilers can run through those 3 rounds,
they have to. They have to, Jesse.
Because they need to be all good when Boston comes to town. They have to be.
Correct.
They if it isn't, man, I don't know. Because if you talk about depth, the Bruins have depth. Like the Bruins top to bottom.
Don't forget too though, the Bruins also have this is going to be a fight, right? Like they're a tough team. And now and they're tough, and Oilers are getting tough now too. They have a back end that's pretty tough. So Kane is starting to come back around now, right? So this is something you got to start paying attention to, because I'm telling you right now, I said it a long time ago this season. I said Oilers are going to win. My wife's been talking shit to me. She's been heckling me about it. You've been heckling me about it. They're winning this year. The Cup's going down Jasper Avenue. The Cup's going down Jasper Avenue. The city's going to go nuts. I live in the city of Edmonton, the city of champions.
It would obviously go nuts. It would be crazy.
It's going to be all
like,
and
they
for all our
want
friends
to change the name back to the city of champions, but
and for all our friends that have suffered and have suffered and been Oiler fans from day one. I'm wishing this upon you like you have no idea.
Sure, I guess.
You're not.
No, I'm not. I'm going for Seattle.
I am. 100% I am.
I would love to see a Cinderella team win again. But
absolutely not.
But yeah, I can't argue with the fact that it's theirs to lose.
I think so.
At least get to the semis. At least the semis.
No, you got to go past that now, Jesse. That ain't enough no more.
I know, but that you get into you get into the anything can happen territory in that realm. I say the first two rounds are a lock. They should be. Like it has to be a lock, and it has to be convincing. And then that third round, depending who it is, that's the real bread and butter. Because if let's say the Bruins do lose to someone along the way, well, then the door is open.
Which could happen on that side.
Absolutely.
On that side, that could happen.
And that's why they do it, because it could happen everywhere. Like the greatest, the best team. The Oilers could lose to the Kings. We don't know. I mean, the chances are small, but
correct.
Anything can happen. The Leafs could win the cup, unfortunately. Like that's just where it is.
That's not gonna happen this year, okay, everybody.
No,
so when you listen to me and Jesse podcast, you're hearing it right now. Leafs will not win the Stanley Cup this year. Bet on it.
I love
They will not. They will not.
I don't think they make it out of the first round again. I actually don't.
Yeah.
I think that the Lightning have their number, and I think that the Lightning will.
It seems like
Maybe
everybody's got their number. Everybody's got their number on that side.
For sure. Like it is weird, but again, and being at home or on the road, it doesn't matter to them. Like they've lost huge games at home when they should have won, and
I agree.
And it's just it doesn't matter. And so, that being said, the chances of the Leafs making it out of the first round, I'm going to give them 28%.
Wow. I'm 28. With you. I'm with you.
I mean, hey, that's a 1 in 4 essentially, but man, I don't.
Yeah,
Lightning's tough. Oilers have like a 90% chance to make it through. Like there's the off chance that McDavid gets decapitated or something, but that would have to happen almost for that to be the case. And fine. The Bruins Panthers. You got to take the Bruins, don't you?
Yes. Yeah.
And I would say that's the win button with the Oilers. Islanders Hurricanes, I'm stoked about.
Yeah.
Because I do like the Islanders. I mean, the Canes have been really good, and I think the Canes do take it, but I think it's a great series. The series that I'm probably the most excited for is the Wild and Stars.
Oh.
Because those are two teams that are very similar, and weirdly enough, remember, that was the Minnesota North Stars.
That's right.
And so it's
very weird.
It is weird, isn't it? But it's weird. So I think that actually could be a really good series.
Definitely.
I'm gonna pick the Stars in that one.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that they can do it. I think that
most people
and then the Rangers Devils, actually that'll be a great series across the New York Jersey
Can't
thing.
Beat it. Can't beat
That'll
it.
be really good. There's some good ones. Jets Golden Knights, I don't know. I mean that should be fast. But I do think the Knights take that one. And then Kraken and Avalanche, and I gotta say Avalanche, but I hope Kraken.
Could you imagine? Can you imagine if the Kraken? It'd be nuts, nuts.
So it'll be. And you know what? And obviously, being a Seattle fan for actually all
football.
Sports teams that are
baseball,
you are. Like I love the Mariners
too.
And hey, Oiler legend Dave Lumley just joined. We'll be right back on the Me and Jesse podcast.
Get ready. It's time for the Me and Jesse podcast with Mark Pavlich and Jesse Martineau. Get ready. It's time for the Me and Jesse podcast with Mark Pavlich and Jesse Martineau.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Me and Jesse podcast. I am Mark Pavlich in the Grove, the big, sexy Jesse Martineau, and our special guest today, everybody, two-time Stanley Cup champion, the one and only Dave Lumley.
The one and only. Buckle up, boys. It's playoff time. Let's get her going.
It is playoff time. You came at the right day. We were just talking about it. Obviously, the Oilers are looking pretty solid, and that's coming from a Flames fan. I don't like to say it, but it is
How'd you guys
true.
do this year? I can't.
Not good.
Remember.
Not good. You know what? I
Go
will
ahead,
say
Dave.
this. Let's say
Go
this
ahead,
about them,
Dave. Don't stop. Don't stop, Dave. Go ahead.
Obviously, in the offseason with losing Gaudreau and Tkachuk, that looked horrible. They got some guys back. They got Huberdeau and stuff. But is Sutter done? Is that it? Is it the last round for Sutter?
He's got to be gone, doesn't he?
I think so.
I mean,
think
I thought the move was pretty good, like Huberdeau.
Yeah.
And look what he did. He had the worst year of his career, maybe.
Essentially.
Yeah.
And I just think they've tuned Sutter out.
Yeah.
And Treliving's gone, right?
No, he's there.
No.
I think they let him go.
Oh, they did. Oh, well, Sutter's got the weird part is that they signed Sutter to a 3-year deal, so they would have to fire him straight up. But and I think it's time. Obviously he did something great last year with the team that nobody said. Getting Johnny Hockey to play defense was that was
nightmarish.
Yeah.
So doing that. But I do think it's over. Now back to the Oilers though. How quickly do you think they can run through this West Division?
Oh, just run through it?
Yeah.
Come on, it's the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. It's the playoffs.
But the role that they're on is just, it's amazing what a couple of moves can the trickle down effect, like Ekholm and bringing up Desharnais, like the two of those guys on defense, that's changed the whole outlook of the team, I think.
It has.
And look what it's done for Stuart Skinner. I mean, how many times do you see, he's made some great saves, but how many times does the camera show he's just gloving the puck? It's a whistle because the defense have moved all those forwards out of the way. So It's just been great. I love that Desharnais. He looks like he just got out of a Russian prison when his helmet comes off. He scares the death. He scares me to death. Yeah. I love it though. What are the players on the other teams saying, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Just to confirm, Trivialing 5 hours ago was fired.
Yeah, yes. Come to Dave Lumley for your breaking news, you guys.
Yeah. Everybody, please come.
If you're not going to keep up, come to me.
That's right, David. You know what? Dave, can you imagine you were picked 199th overall, just like Tom Brady was?
Yes.
And I don't know if anybody's ever had that correlation with you before, but you're a Toronto guy originally. You were born in Toronto.
I know. I keep that quiet out here.
Listen, we had to bring it up because there's no one that despises the Maple Leafs more than myself on the planet. There's nobody. The last time, Dave, they won the Stanley Cup, my father was on the ice, Matt Pavlich, when they won the Stanley Cup.
I was in the stands.
My father was convinced in 1967, that's the year I was born, that him and I together have found a way to make sure the Leafs never win the cup again.
I was in the stands for that game.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
There's a connection, and there's a connection here. And Dave, you know what? You're just like me because you're from out east originally, but you fell in love with the West like I did. Oh. And me personally, I'm never going back out east. I've been out here for 26 years. I love it. I consider myself an Edmontonian. I love the city. I love the people, and I'm never going back the other way. Never.
I'm dating myself, but I can open a beer with anything now.
Yeah.
That's one of the first things they taught me, how to pop the tops off. Oof.
Keys later. but
podcasts.
That's
so politically incorrect these days.
Let's talk about Gretzky. I know that, you probably get asked this all the time, but I mean, playing, you play with someone way better than you, even in rec league. It's fun. You're like, I feel awesome. How was it? What did it feel like to take the ice?
There was 1 year I sat beside him in the dressing room, and for 7 to 8 years. And the first game of the year, 1 year, I had a goal and an assist, and the press is all around me. And I said, if I keep this pace up, I'll only lose the scoring championship by 60 points. Does that put it into perspective for you?
Man, that is crazy.
Like a goal and an assist average, and I lose by 60.
Do you think
he was unbelievable?
He is the greatest of all time, undisputed.
He is
undisputed.
But what
Connor,
about it,
I'm telling you.
No, but talent. But I'm saying is, listen, it's like saying when Jack Nicklaus played and they want to compare Tiger Woods, and Jack has still the most majors wins, undisputed over Tiger Woods, almost the same amount of wins, whatever the case may be. And you look at how when Gretzky played with you, the 200 plus points.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it. That's a wrap. No one's ever going to, like, we can actually say in our lifetime 2 things. The Leafs won't win the cup, and no one will ever, and no one will ever
Really?
hit that mark.
Like Connor's got 150 points, which is unreal.
And he killed himself to do it.
Yeah.
200 points. He's like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
At least 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
It is nuts. And I didn't think even the goal record would come close to being done, but Ovechkin's close in terms of career. But
you think he's going to break it? He probably is.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, he's close, but he's still got a ways to go for, how old is he? He's like 39, isn't he? So,
but how many? 70, 80, 90? How many more does he need?
Didn't make the playoffs this year. Didn't make the playoffs this year. So here's where it starts, right? Maybe his wife says, honey, what do you need to do this for? Stay home, This is what happens
family now. And yeah, that's true.
One thing, listen to the wife. I didn't, and I don't have one anymore.
Yeah.
What is it like when you have like that on the road? Like, I mean, like,
different,
especially back then without, because now today you can FaceTime someone in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But back then, there was no such invention. I'll see you in 2 weeks.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
That's hard on families.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, I was single when I played, so I didn't have to worry about it. But the older guys, like a Lee Foglin and Andy Moe, Randy Gregg, those guys were really quiet on the road. Work, church, and home. That's the way I rolled. That's what I tell everybody. That was just a little off. Like even going for a long lunch, we called it. Those guys would come for a beer or two, but then they were gone, and then we'd still all be together at 2 a.m, eh?
Yeah. But do teams discourage that today?
No,
because it doesn't seem like they do it as much. Like, you don't hear anymore about that was a
cell
team
phone
thing.
cameras.
Yeah.
Good point.
That's the key to the whole deal.
Yeah.
Glenn Sather would give us the green light as long as we were playing well or winning, but as long as we played well and we were trying. If any one of those things got out of kilter, on the goal lines the next morning, down and back, red line and back. So, and weigh-ins and curfews.
And then he knew,
But as long as we were doing what we're supposed to be doing,
knock yourself out.
Yeah. Didn't matter.
Just to follow
Didn't matter what time
Gretzky at 894, Ovechkin's 822. So
I'll tell you a story about maybe your dad was not your dad. Who was it? That was the referee?
My dad was a referee. My uncle was Marty Pavlich, and he's still alive too. He's 95. He won 4 Stanley Cups with Detroit.
Here's a quick story that Glenn Sather never found out about. We're in Buffalo. I ended up going over the border into Canada that night.
I know exactly.
And coming back in the morning, no passport, nothing, and walking through the lobby, pretending I'm just going for breakfast. And there's the 2 linesmen and the referee. Maybe Marty was one of them.
He might have
been.
And you were just coming. You were just coming in.
I was just coming in internationally.
Wow.
I know.
Wow, you couldn't do that now. No.
I'm a grown up now. I would never do that.
So what are you doing, Dave? What are you doing now? Because I heard you're going to start something new now. You're going to start a new business, and our dear friend Ken Franchuk from Crystal Glass was telling me about it, and it was getting me all jacked up on the phone about it. So I did want to talk about it on the show today.
Well, I was out in Kelowna for about 5 months. I went out there, and a buddy of mine had hip replacement surgery, and I went and lived with him. And then I came back, and it was kind of a funny thing. A friend of mine was in real estate, and he went to appraise a house, and the lady had a bunch of Oiler memorabilia down there. And the guy says, I don't know if I should talk numbers, but he says, he says, I know Dave Lumley really well. And the husband said, do you think he'd come over for my wife's 60th birthday party? And he said, well, I know the Oilers pay him for personal appearances. So he threw out a number. Did you think he'd come over? And so I went over there, and we just had the best time telling stories. And then one of the people at that party had a brother-in-law who was, I think it was his anniversary. So he said, would you come over to my place? And again, same thing. And then the guy heard about that and invited me to the hockey game a couple of weeks ago to his suite, tell stories. And it's just, I love it.
Yeah.
And take him to the alumni room. And I had 2 women tell me that was the greatest moment of their lives.
Wow.
Because they're true Oiler fans.
Yeah.
Taking them down to the Oiler alumni room. So stuff like that. I'll play golf with anybody. I'll come and have beers on your deck.
So you're doing the cameo thing, but live.
But live. I'll come to your house.
I love that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And there is a small cost involved, but I'm trying to get the proceeds to go to the cancer. Dave Semenko dying of pancreatic cancer hit me hard. Like I don't want to say of all the guys, but of all the guys. Hey,
I agree. Yeah.
And my mom died of cancer. My sister died of cancer. Wow. My other sister just went through 23 weeks of chemo. And her daughter was just diagnosed with pancreatic cancer.
Oh, Jesus.
So if I can do a bunch of these appearances and throw the net proceeds into the, whatever fund with the emphasis on pancreatic cancer, what could be better, right? Telling stories and helping people on the side.
Yeah.
I agree. Cool. I agree. I think it's awesome. So, Dave, how would someone get a hold of you for such a thing?
I haven't been on Twitter in a long time, but if they want to just, hit me up at Lumber20.
At Lumber20, just so I know, because I'm on Twitter about 16 hours a day. So I'll make sure. I'll make sure.
I was on it until I shamed the Oilers into making the playoffs.
Oh.
And then I done my job. I haven't been on it 5 years.
I like.
So you just kind of. But you have to start checking it then, because if we're going to start plugging it, and people do want to get a hold of you, they have to DM you on Twitter. Yeah. So what is it? One more time.
At Lumber20.
At Lumber20.
Like LUMMER 20.
We'll put it
I think
everywhere
that's
too.
I'll have to check.
Well, see, we have to know for sure. It's not kind of. You have to be right on about that.
Okay,
but that's pretty cool, though. And you could actually see a lot of guys maybe trying to do that kind of a thing for a great cause like you.
Well, people have told me I should have written a book. Like over the years, I have so many stories, but it's too late now. I can't remember them. But if you brought up a Dave Semenko, I mean, boom, something comes to mind, right?
It's funny. It's true though, because on our show we get our best guests are from the NFL, but they're guys that are done playing, because when they're playing they can't say anything.
Yeah.
And it's the same with you. Like you right now, there's no repercussion, whatever you say. You can say whatever you want. Best guests by far, NHL guys like yourselves, other guys that we've had from the NHL that are no longer. My father was on the show one time because people were driving me nuts to get him on the show. And he can just tell you, he can go on and on about who was dog shit and who was who was no good and who was good. But when he was in the NHL, he couldn't talk like that.
No. As far as I'm concerned, the statute of limitations has run out.
Yes, exactly.
I'm bringing back the curtain.
Yeah,
awesome,
I agree.
actually.
I totally agree.
Yeah, I think that has to happen more, and we want to know. And I would say too, it's not too late to write a book, because now everyone ghostwrites.
I don't think it is, Dave. I think you should write a book. And I'm not saying you physically write a book, but you have a ghostwriter that sits next to you, and you just start blurting out all the stories, and they just package them together and come up with a cool title. People would love to read that kind of stuff. I'm telling you.
It's too late. My memory's going. But I have to tell you the one Dave Semenko story.
Okay.
So
please.
Hartford beat us 11-0 one game down there.
Wow.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
So it's 7-0 after the first period.
Wow.
First period. Second period. Glenn Sather says in the room that, okay, we're horseshit. Excuse my language.
Okay.
Just no more goals against. We said, okay. The opening face-off, Gretz wins the draw down to our end. Coffee goes around the net to pick it up. There's a guy right on his tail, a whaler right on his tail. The puck gets stuck in the Zamboni water.
Oh.
And the Hartford guy stops, puts it in the net. 8-0. I look at the slats. He goes, well, there goes that friggin' plan. And now it's 9-0 later on in the game. My line mates are Kevin McClellan and Dave Smith. And I turned to them and I said, guys, we cannot be on the ice when they make it 10. We will never, ever play again. And Smith goes, let us pray. And he puts his head down. I look at him like, come on. What are you? Boom. His head wasn't down for 2 seconds. Hartford scored to make it 11-0. Wow. He looks at me going over the boards. Praise the Lord. We went out and made it 11-0. That's what was going through Sammy's mind. I mean, he was so funny.
Yeah.
So funny.
Oh wow.
Man, that's great. And that is the thing too. It's like 11-0, and this is
I played great. The rest of the guys were horrible.
What was your favorite aspect of your game? What did you love to do?
Oh, I guess needle guys.
That's what I was gonna say.
Our line, back when we first started, the first line at Gretz's line always wore red jerseys in practice. So, and Mess and Andy, they were orange. We were green. So in that checking line, Stan Weir, Davey Hunter, myself. So I nicknamed our line Gang Green. And so we had to check one year in the playoffs. It was Trottier, Bossy, and Clark Gillies.
Oh, Jesus. Wow.
And we did it. I think it was the year we won the cup. We did a pretty good number on them. And then the guy, Billy Carroll, came from the Islanders to the Oilers. And he pulled me aside one day. He says, Lummer, if you ever see Clark Gillies, like off the ice somewhere, like in BC or something, run like hell, because he has told everybody he's going to kill me. He said he will murder you. He will take the 25 years. He'll get out early on good behavior.
In Canada,
He was honest. He's going to kill you.
Yeah.
So
what did you do to did that?
Just over the years, it just piled up.
Just this
piled up.
The elbow here, the stick there, a little spear there.
You had the buttons to push.
Yeah. Give him the elbow when the ref wasn't looking, and he would sucker me, and he'd get the 2 minutes
penalty,
for roughing, and that was not me. I didn't.
Were you a part of it when they changed the rule to 5-on-5 from 4-on-4?
Didn't they do that for us?
Yeah, they did it for you. Were you a part of that then?
I believe so.
You don't
know? I was one of the guys in the box when it was 4-on-4.
I know, yes, I know.
That's the only way it affected
It's like
me.
you guys did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Because
I know. Well, we were so good, but they brought it back.
Yeah.
I just noticed that for the first time, a couple of weeks ago.
They want to speed this thing up, right? What do you think about the no red line?
Yeah.
About what?
No red line.
I'm okay with it.
Okay,
I don't play anymore. I don't care.
But it's happening. Don't you see it in every sport now, Dave? They're doing it in baseball now. They're doing it everywhere. They're trying to make the bases bigger. Hockey, they want to, it's just the way it seems like they're trying to.
Are you going to argue with the 3-on-3?
No, I'm not.
I think the 3-on-3 in overtime is awesome. I think they should
that's
just
the
do
most
that.
exciting thing I've ever seen. It's
me too.
Non-stop action. I love it.
I'd rather them take the shootout out and just run 3-on-3 till someone scores.
I agree.
Do it for 8 minutes or 10 minutes.
Do it for 10 minutes. Exactly.
Yeah.
But you'd have to start playing other guys on the team. You couldn't go Drysdale.
Yeah, you couldn't just run that the whole time.
Every other shift. Because I played in those 3-on-3 tournaments.
Yes.
They are tiring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have met, that's a lot of ice to cover.
Yeah. Well, we went down to Calgary one year. I just retired. And we were playing Calgary. And they had 5 guys in their team that had won the Stanley Cup.
Wow.
And we had Semang, Davey Hunter, myself, Doug Hicks, and his brother, who never played in the NHL. And in the beginning, they had 2 15-minute halves. Well, everybody was throwing up. Nobody could play that long because you only had 6 guys.
Yeah.
So 3 and 3. So the next year, the year that we played the Calgary guys that I'm telling you about, it was 2 8-minute halves. We lost 16-1.
Wow.
Yeah. I got the 1 goal, so I thought I played.
You played great.
16-1. I mean, they had Rob Ramage, they had Joey Mullen, Joel Otto, Jim Lipinski.
I love Joel Otto.
I forget the goalie's name. He played won the Stanley Cup.
Wasn't Burden.
No, it wasn't Burden. It was a guy. I think he played in St. Louis before.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
You're a character, and you have been.
Thank you.
For your whole career. I loved that. I loved seeing guys with the character and the personality and we're unapologetic about it. You mentioned the cell phone thing and all that stuff now, but has it become too squeaky clean in terms of what we can say anymore? It seems like every interview is the same. It seems like every, off ice, on ice, whatever it is, it's all this packaged little thing going on, and it's all pretty in a little bow. There's no the soundbite or that kind of a thing running around the ice chasing someone down.
Exactly.
I hear you, but back in the day, we had 2 guys one from the Sun, one from the Journal. That was it. There was no ESPN, there was no TSN back then.
Right.
That's right.
Now you throw that. And then you throw Twitter and cell phones into it. You can't say anything or do anything without it being
recorded. Yeah.
And so is that now I guess now they're coached hey, keep it.
I don't know if they are, but I'm sure the veterans will say, listen, watch what you say. Don't give them any bulletin board material.
Yeah.
When you hear that bulletin board material from a football player in the States, you love it, huh?
Yeah,
we do.
Yeah,
Sorry,
we
I have
do.
allergies. My allergies are killing me right
ours
now.
too.
Yeah,
Mine
mine
too.
too.
Yeah. But yeah, that's
Funny, I told you about going down to Texas, and I was never allergic to anything before I went down there. I was down there for 10 years. I don't know if there's a relation between the two. I came back. I went to an allergist. I'm allergic to 6 types of trees, 6 grasses,
Wow.
snow mold.
Yeah.
I never
Me
even
too.
heard of snow mold before.
Yeah.
Me neither.
And some various red wines and perfume.
Jeez.
Like, I think I was.
So you were in
allergic.
Texas? Were you in Texas for 10 years?
Yeah.
Did you bump into Marty Turco down there?
No, I didn't. I didn't get to
Okay.
Dallas very often, a couple
Okay.
times, but
Yeah, we had Turco on the show too. But yeah, I wish that there was like a little more, not R-rated, but closer to
More F1 into NHL?
Yeah, a little bit more. Of
I could turn it into R-rated right now if you want.
Oh yeah, I mean you could absolutely, and you would be, and we love that. But I mean in sports in general, especially the NHL, because I do find like I became a huge Formula One fan because largely of the politics and the bullshit that they say to each other on live TV. You're like, I can't believe they said that about that guy sitting right there, and you know it's worked, and I think that generation younger does like that kind of stuff. Why not have another network where everything's mic'd up?
Ooh, I see how passionate you are, but you have to look at it from these small town Canadian kids.
Yeah,
they're not going to go out in that limb.
No.
I don't think I would.
No,
Interesting.
not now. Not now. No.
Yeah.
Like start mouthing off right now about Drew Doughty and what a dick he is, and
Yeah,
he's always yapping at everybody and he's
it's
running
true.
guys from behind.
Yeah.
You can't say that.
No.
Right.
No.
That
Because it's going to come back. It will come back to haunt you.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, Jesse, but I can't see it happening in hockey
Yeah.
very time.
No,
that's
let's
a good
be
point.
honest.
Great
But
point.
we also know that the most exciting time of the year. I don't care what sport it is. Okay, I love my NFL. I love my MMA, my boxing. I love it all. But there's nothing more exciting than playoff hockey. Nothing. I don't care what anybody says. I'll argue with the NFL guys that come on this show. I'll argue with anybody, the MMA guys, everybody. The most exciting time of the year is tonight, starts tonight, and the level goes up. Everything is magnified, and it's literally the most exciting sport to watch on the planet. Americans, you can argue whatever you want. It's bullshit. I'm telling you. And I'm telling you, my favorite sports are boxing and MMA. And I'm telling you, forget both of those sports and NFL football. Forget all of it. It's now.
Watch, pick a number, 15 minutes of a regular season game. And then turn the playoffs on.
Yeah.
You will, well, the difference is just,
it's crazy.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid. And it starts tonight. And everybody, and I tell everybody, if you're not really into hockey, just turn the TV on tonight, and you will find a way to love hockey. Mostly the Americans in the South that don't watch hockey, or other parts of the states, watch it tonight. Get involved in watching it. You'll see. You'll fall in love with hockey.
I told the people down there who've never seen it, just go to one of the games.
Yeah.
And they couldn't believe it when they went. You can't see it on TV. It's hard. They say it's hard to follow the puck, and I don't know the rules. Go to one game. And they love it.
I've never heard a Canadian person ever say it's hard to follow the puck. I go down to the States, and these yokels in the States are like, I can't follow the puck, and I'm like, what are you?
Well,
what the hell's wrong with you? Like, how can't you follow the puck? It's right there.
Remember Peter Puck? Remember they had the blue line?
Yes.
Yeah.
A big part of it was that the cameramen there had never tracked hockey, and they weren't good at it. Where the CBC guys would go in and be like, hey, we've done this since we could play with the camera, and they just knew what to anticipate. And I remember in the 90s, the mid 90s, the Fox and NBC feeds would be zoomed out way more. So you could see a little bit more of it, and it wouldn't.
But you remember they did that with the tracking line, though. They did it with the puck. That was horse shit when they did that, because Canadian people were like, "What the hell are they doing here?" They turned it into a pinball machine because you were going like this, and you were seeing the line going where the puck goes. I'm like, this. When I went
to Texas, we started that new hockey team. My job was like everything off of the ice, like Booster Club, picking out all the music, finding guys to work in the penalty box, like the off-ice officials. Official scores, announcers. We had to we brought in boards and nets and everything from Alexandria, Louisiana. And even I had to find like the announcer I told you about. And I had pieces of paper written out. So for what he would read when we scored a goal. So it would be, okay, Bandits goal scored by number 20, Dave Lumley, assisted by blah, blah, blah. Time 2050. And then he'd read it again. So I had that all covered. What I didn't have covered was when we scored our first goal, he has the microphone. He goes, goal! As long as he could. I go, I never told you to do that.
Yeah, this isn't soccer. Yeah, it's not soccer.
I slapped him around a little bit. He never did it again.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, before we let you go tonight, who do you like? Where Oilers and what over the Kings?
I gotta think the Kings have to win 1 or 2, don't they?
I'll
say 5.
I say 5 too. I say 5. Yeah, 5.
And, and do you is Oilers your number 1 pick? Oilers Boston final?
That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
It would be flashback, but yeah, it would be awesome.
You know what? What did you guys think about Winnipeg the way they ended the year?
Well,
I was scared. I was scared that the Oilers might have to play Winnipeg.
Yeah,
it's one of those things, and they got the Knights, which finished first, but
yeah.
Are you guys forgetting the last game with Oilers in Colorado in the regular season? Yeah. If you watch that game,
forever, wasn't it?
If you watch that game, okay, that now flips your mind from Oilers are really good to Oilers are right here. They're right here. They're not anymore. Like, listen to me. Semifinals don't get you shit anymore. No. They got to get to the Stanley Cup. Okay, now if they lose the Stanley Cup, that's the tragedy, but they got to get there.
Yeah.
But most people think deep down, even talent-wise, when you match them against Boston Bruins, talent, deepness, Oilers got the Bruins. I'm telling you. They got them. Oh, talent.
Talent.
Come on, guys.
Again.
Come on, guys.
I bet the odds makers will disagree with you.
Well, I don't care. But that's what I'm saying. Because, listen, just like the same idiots, listen, at Sportsnet and TSN, those morons, and we've had a lot of those morons on our show before. They, at the beginning of the year, they were favoring the Toronto Maple Leafs to win the Cup again.
Well, they do every year.
But that's what I'm saying. That's where we're hearing it from. And I won't have any of it out here. I'm telling you right now, I'm a Red Wing for life. But I want to see the Oilers win the Stanley Cup. This is my city, and I want to see them win.
I'll tell you one thing. There's been a lot of years in the past. It's been false hope. It's been false bravado.
That's right.
Oh yeah, we're playing a parade. We're going to win. This year, it's not false hope.
No,
there's a good chance.
There's a legitimate chance. This is the first year that I've
even Jesse said it, and Jesse, the Calgary Flames fan, I said
anymore, it. But in the past,
in decades, this is the first time.
I agree.
This is the one where they actually have a shot. But again, like Boston, it looks so good. But again, that's why we played the games. That's why we played the games.
We'll see.
We have
Boston's
to see.
got all the pressure in the world after what they did this year. So don't listen. People are all picking Boston. People are picking Colorado. They're picking even the Toronto Maple Leafs. And then they kind of go, oh yeah, the Oilers should do pretty good. They
never see us.
Yeah,
so go ahead.
Right.
How many people will watch the game down east tonight? It starts at 11 o'clock their time.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
It's always been the thing. The teams out west really don't get a fair shake that way.
That's right.
But hey, when they come out, the other teams know who they are.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not my favorite matchup this round. I think my favorite matchup this round is the Wild Stars, just because of the whole Minnesota North Stars back and forth thing, and they're close. And
is that the epitome of a pick'em series? I
think so. I think so.
It is.
I think it is. Like I think it's one of those things where
I wouldn't be surprised at one. I wouldn't be surprised at the other.
Me either. And that's why I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, Dave, I
this has been fun.
I really appreciate you and your honesty, and it's always been that way. And I just think it's a breath of fresh air to everyone in the NHL, and they should be looking to you still to show them how to be a human being that's still honest, still has an opinion, but still can keep it on the ice. And that's what I like.
And don't forget, everybody.
I would love a breath of fresh air right now. This allergy stuff it's
the worst.
It's the snow.
But Dave, what we got to do is I'm going to make sure that I find your Twitter, and I'm going to make sure that people know to get a hold of you. And I will personally come up with the write-up for you, because I already have from my marketing genius. And I will put it out there for you on our Facebook page, on our Twitter page, on our Instagram, for people to get a hold of you.
Infancy right now.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that have to be
Are you a golfer? Are you a golfer, Dave?
Yes, badly. I used to be good. Somebody stole my golf clubs.
Oh, wow. No, but I'm saying this because people would want for golf outings, for, corporate functions and all those type of things.
I'll do it. Everything's on the table.
Perfect.
If you have to fly me to Vegas, why not? Who am I to say no?
Yeah, no.
Correct.
Twist your rubber arm there.
Correct.
Guys, it was great talking to you. Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
Thanks for being on the show, Dave. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Have a great night.
You take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, it's awesome having him on the show tonight. Dave Lumley, two-time Stanley Cup champion with the Edmonton Oilers. And like I said, Jesse, those are my favorite guests. So my favorite guests are those NFL guys, the NHL guys,
Been there.
The MMA guys, the boxing guys that are all retired now that really don't care about any repercussions. So people always say, why don't you get this guy on the show and this guy on the show? And I always tell them, listen, 60 minutes of a current hockey player in the NHL would be murder for us. It would be like having gangrene. You know what I mean? Like, it would be so hard. But listen, everybody, we want to thank our sponsors, Crystal Glass, your clear choice for all your glass needs. And I'd like to thank Mr. Franchuk over at Crystal Glass for hooking us up with Dave Lumley today, which is greatly appreciated. And don't forget, everybody, the summer season is coming. Please, gentlemen, I'm talking to you directly here, okay? Back hair is not sexy, and it never has been. It never will be. Okay. Backscape, go to backscape.com. Our great sponsors at Backscape. This product is absolutely fantastic. I encourage you guys. And you know what else too? Asking your wife or girlfriend is not sexy either to shave your back. This is do it yourself. No harm, no foul, no cuts. I'm telling you. And the lotion and the rest of the stuff smells fantastic. Go to backscape.com today, everybody, and get yourself one.
Well, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Thanks, Dave Lumley, once again for joining us. And hey, playoffs start tonight. Right now, they're on.
Most exciting time of the year.
Well, yeah. I mean,
for hockey fans, yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, get on it.
Well, no, I think anyone that Crane's already up 1-0, and a 1.
Oh, wow.
And Bruins are up 1-0.
As expected.
Surprise. But you know, if you're not sure about hockey and you're like, I don't know, I've watched a couple times, start watching the playoffs and you'll get what everyone's so crazy about. That's the point. Like, it is what everyone lives for. I wish the season was only 60 games long, but it doesn't matter anymore. The playoffs start now. It's back on.
It's on. Game time. And in the city of Edmonton where we live, it will be electric.
It already, like, it's starting.
It's electric. It is literally the whole atmosphere of everything changes. People, like, here for us, it's not CFL football. It's not nothing.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
There's nothing else exists.
Yeah, imagine if the place you lived in, there was nothing exciting happening except for one thing.
Yes.
That's what.
If you wanna go to a game live here, trust me, the worst seat is about $380.
Yeah.
The worst seat in the whole venue is about $380 tonight.
Yeah. I don't even want to ask how much New York tickets are.
Oh, yeah.
Well, everybody, thanks so much for watching the Lee and Jesse podcast. That right down there is Mark Pavlich. I'm Jesse Martineau. Thanks once again, Dave. Thanks, Crystal Glass and Backscape. And we'll see you next time. And we'll see what happens in this week of playoff action. Will the Maple Leafs still be in the playoffs?
Jesse!
Oh, boy. We'll see you next time, everybody, on the Me and Jesse podcast.
Thanks for watching the Me and Jesse podcast. Follow us at facebook.com/Me and Jesse.